Walk right into my heart, the cowboy told the limping girl no one wanted. Walk right into my heart, the cowboy told the limping girl no one wanted. #, a cowboy sci-fi story in 4 parts. #, PAT1, the girl at the edge of town. The settlement of New Mesa sat on the edge of the crimson frontier, where red dust met purple skies and 3 moons hung like ornaments in the twilight. It was a place where Earth colonists tried to scratch out a living on a planet that didn't quite want them there. Sheriff Cole Brennan rode his hovercycle into town just as the first moon was rising. The machine hummed beneath him, kicking up small clouds of rust-colored sand. He'd been out checking the perimeter sensors, making sure no dust storms were rolling in from the wastelands. It was quiet work, but someone had to do it. As he passed the old water station, he noticed a figure sitting on the broken fountain that hadn't worked in 5 years. A girl, maybe 19 or 20 years old, with dark hair pulled back in a messy braid. She wore clothes that had seen better days, patched and repatched, but what caught his attention was the way she sat, one leg stretched out stiffly in front of her, the other tucked underneath. Cole slowed his hovercycle and stopped a respectful distance away. He'd learned long ago that approaching too quickly made folks nervous, especially folks who looked like they'd had a hard go of it. "Evening," he called out, tipping his wide-brimmed hat. It was made of synth leather, designed to protect against the harsh sun of this world, but it looked just like the hats his grandfather had worn back on Earth. The girl looked up, her eyes cautious. "Evening, Sheriff?" She knew who he was. That wasn't surprising. Everyone in New Mesa knew everyone else. It was that kind of town. "Haven't seen you around before," Cole said, dismounting and walking his hovercycle closer. "You new to the settlement?" "Came in on the transport 3 days ago," she said. Her voice was quiet but steady. "Name's Maya Reeves." Cole nodded. "Cole Brennan." "Welcome to New Mesa." He glanced at her outstretched leg. "You finding everything all right?" "Medical center's just down the main street if you need." "I'm fine," Maya said quickly. Too quickly. "Just resting." There was a story there, Cole knew. There was always a story. But he'd learned not to push. People told their stories when they were ready. "Well, if you need anything, my office is the building with the star on it. Can't miss it." He started to turn away, then paused. "You got a place to stay?" Maya's silence was answer enough. Cole sighed. The settlement didn't have much in the way of social services. Most folks came here with family or friends, with a job waiting or a homestead claim. People who arrived alone, without resources, often found themselves in difficult situations. "There's a boarding house run by Mrs. Beretta, Chen," he said, 2 streets over. "Tell her I sent you. She might have a room." "I don't have much credit," Maya admitted, looking down at her hands. "Tell her anyway," Cole said. "She's good people." He rode off before Maya could protest, but he made a mental note to stop by Mrs. Chen's later and square up whatever the cost might be. It wasn't the first time he'd done such a thing, and it probably wouldn't be the last. Over the next few days, Cole saw Maya around town. She'd found work at the general store, stocking shelves and running the counter when old Mr. Patterson needed a break. It wasn't much, but it was something. What bothered Cole was the way people treated her, or rather, didn't treat her. New Mesa was a small community, usually friendly enough, but Cole noticed how people's eyes would slide past Maya, how they'd choose the other checkout lane, how conversations would quiet when she limped by. It was subtle, the kind of exclusion that was hard to call out but impossible to miss once you saw it. He didn't understand it at first. Then he overheard 2 women talking outside the supply depot. "It's just sad, really," one of them said, "coming all the way out here when she's like that. What kind of life can she have?" "I heard she was in some kind of accident back on the transport stations," the other replied. "Poor thing. But honestly, why come to a frontier world? It's hard enough for those of us who are whole and healthy." Cole felt anger rise in his chest, hot and sharp. He stepped around the corner, and both women had the decency to look embarrassed. "Ladies," he said, his voice cool. "Didn't realize we'd started judging folks by whether they could run a foot race. Thought we'd judge them by their character and their work ethic. Must have missed that meeting where we changed the rules." The women scattered, making excuses. Cole stood there a moment longer, his jaw tight. He'd seen this before, back on other worlds, other settlements. The way people could be cruel without even raising their voices. The way they could make someone feel small and unwanted just by turning away. That evening, he found himself walking toward the general store. It was late, just before closing time. Through the window, he could see Maya sweeping the floor, moving methodically despite her uneven gait. Cole pushed open the door. The bell chimed. Maya looked up, surprised. "Sheriff, we're about to close, but if you need something." "Just wanted to check in," Cole said. "See how you're settling in." Maya's expression was guarded. "Fine. Mrs. Chen's been kind." "The work is good, but," Cole prompted gently. Maya stopped sweeping. She leaned on the broom handle, and for a moment she looked very tired. "But nothing. This is how it is. How it's always been." "What do you mean?" She laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Come on, Sheriff. You've seen it. People here don't want me around. I'm a reminder of something they don't want to think about. That things can go wrong. That bodies can break. That we're all one accident away from being different." Cole moved closer. "That's their problem, not yours." "Easy to say when you're not the one being avoided like you're contagious," Maya said. She immediately looked apologetic. "Sorry, you've been nothing but kind." "I shouldn't—" "No, you're right to be frustrated," Cole interrupted. "And for what it's worth, I don't think much of people who judge others based on something so shallow." Maya studied him for a long moment. "Why do you care, Sheriff? You don't know me." It was a fair question. Cole thought about it, about the answer that was true and the answer that was easy. He decided to go with the truth. "My sister," he said quietly. "Back on Earth. She was born with a condition that affected her spine. Couldn't walk without braces and supports. Smartest person I ever knew. Could fix anything mechanical, had a laugh that could light up a room. But people looked at her the way they look at you. Like she was less. Like she was a tragedy instead of a person." "What happened to her?" Maya asked softly. Cole smiled, though it was bittersweet. "She became a chief engineer on one of the colony ships. Last I heard, she was helping terraform a moon out in the Andromeda sector. Proved every single one of those people wrong." Maya didn't say anything, but something in her posture had softened. Cole reached up and adjusted his hat. "Look, I know I'm just the sheriff of a dusty frontier town. I can't make people treat you different. But I can tell you this. You're welcome here. In my book, anyone willing to work hard and contribute to this community belongs here, no matter what. And if anyone gives you trouble, real trouble, you come find me." "Why?" Maya asked again. But this time the question was different, softer. Cole met her eyes. "Because everyone deserves a place to belong. And maybe, if you're willing, you could walk right into this community, into New Mesa. We need good people more than we need perfect ones." He tipped his hat and turned to leave. "Sheriff?" Maya called after him. He paused at the door. "Thank you," she said simply. Cole nodded and stepped out into the purple twilight, the 3 moons rising overhead, and wondered if maybe, just maybe, he'd started something that might change this town for the better. End of Part 1, to be continued in Part 2, The Dust Storm and the Rescue.